To me, it seems like some sort of like WWE fight, which I want to point out is the only other sport where I see people take 20-year hiatuses and come back and try to beat the young guy. And on the opposite side of that, for 40 million, I would definitely beat up a unk. To keep it a buck, if you give me $100 and a Big Mac, I might be down for it. So if you aren't roommates with Patrick Starr, you probably recently saw the spectacle of a fight that was held between Jake Paul and Mike Tyson. If you even want to call it a fight. If you watched it and you expected a real fight, you got bamboozled. I literally feel like I could call one of my friends, go buy some boxing gloves from Walmart or something, and we could put on a better show than Jake Paul and Mike Tyson did. No cap, it was literally like a staring match for 8 rounds. But I'm not gonna lie, I didn't really expect a whole lot from the fight because I don't know if you knew or not, but Mike Tyson is almost 60. He's 58 to be exact. I don't know why there was so many people who literally thought Mike Tyson was gonna come out and literally be prime Iron Mike Tyson. I don't know if you know about this famous saying, but there is a saying that no man can outrun father time. And I don't think there is a greater display of this than this fight. Mike Tyson literally looked like he was out of breath from the first round. And not only that, he looked like he didn't have any balance. Like, he just looked like an old man. I know everybody who is slightly familiar with Mike Tyson has seen those iconic walkouts of Mike Tyson where he just has his shirt on and he looks menacing like a pit bull just ready to like bite or devour his opponents. But when Mike Tyson came out for this fight, he didn't even have like the same look. He looked like an old dude. He looked like an old man trying to impersonate that Mike Tyson. Like I said again, I don't know why you would think that this version of Mike Tyson would be that version of Mike Tyson. I was having arguments at work and with my friend groups all week about how that was not the version of Mike Tyson that we were going to get. I heard every argument possible for it. Oh, did you see the training footage? Oh, he's just a genetic killer. Bro, he's 58. And I don't know if y'all have not learned from seeing people like Michael Jordan and Jerry Rice compete at a high level when they're like super old, but usually it does not go very well. In fact, when people think about those people, they act like those later years of their career didn't even happen. And for good reason. Because honestly, it was a disappointment to all of us, just like this fight. Now, honestly, I would be lying if I said I was super disappointed. Because like I said, I didn't expect much from a 58-year-old. If anything, I just felt bad that a 58-year-old would agree to get in the ring with this 20-year-old. It had me confused for a while because I was like, why would this old man agree to fight this young guy, really knowing there's a high likelihood that it would not go in his favor? And then I saw how much they were paying him. For $20 million, I would go in there with a heavyweight and get knocked out. And on the opposite side of that, for $40 million, I would definitely beat up a unk. There were so many people criticizing Jake Paul for even taking part in this fight. But honestly, at the end of the day, we all know it was about money. And you are a hypocrite if you are telling me that you would not take $40 million to beat up a 60-year-old. In fact, I take $1 million. To keep it a buck, if you give me $100 and a Big Mac, I might be down for it. I'm not gonna lie, as like a fighting fan, again, it was pretty tough to watch. So I didn't like seeing Mike Tyson get brutally destroyed because that's all that was happening. It was not one point in this fight where I thought Mike Tyson was even slightly in it. Okay, I take that back. That first round, he did kind of come out swinging. It looked like he might have had something in the tank, but we did realize that he was definitely almost on E as soon as it started. And the people who I've talked to since who have watched that fight, the only people is surprised that he didn't have any tank is older people. Mike Tyson literally was putting older people on his back for this fight. They wanted to see him put on for the older people and show them all that they still got it when they are 60. And what did we see? That he definitely does not still have it. I saw a lot of people trying to argue like this fight would be good for boxing, but I just don't understand like how this would be good for like actual boxing. I mean, I think it's undeniable that it brought a lot of eyes to the sport, but I don't think it brings eyes in the way that like people who actually like the sport would want it to. To me, it seems like some sort of like WWE fight, which I want to point out is the only other sport where I see people take 20-year hiatuses and come back and try to beat the young guy. I don't think that people who would watch a Jake Paul and Mike Tyson fight would then watch like a Gervonta Davis or a Terrence Crawford fight from watching that. I don't think it like sparks interest like that. Maybe some of the prelims would if people like actually like stayed on to watch those. But I think the majority of people, especially since it was on Netflix, just logged off and then logged on when Jake Paul and Mike Tyson's part came on. That is, if they could even get on the fight, because we all know the real fight was the fight to watch the fight. Bro, my joint was buffering and it looked like I was literally trying to play Tetris from 1975. I have a pretty decent TV. My joint was more pixelated than ever watching this fight. I was literally going around the house turning on different TVs. I thought there was something wrong with my Wi-Fi, but no. A quick look at Instagram made me realize that Netflix just sucks at hosting live events. I'm not gonna say Netflix should not host more live events, because I actually think it's a pretty good idea. But you gotta do something about them servers, bro. That is not it at all. As interesting as this fight sounded probably on paper, mainly just because Mike Tyson was a person who was taking part of it, I really don't think it's good in the long run for the sport for fights like this to take place. I literally feel like it just makes boxing look more like WWE. And yes, while WWE is entertaining, we all know it's not real. I think that's the basis of what this fight felt like. It felt like a fight that wasn't real and wasn't even really supposed to take place. It's like a fantasy matchup on Fight Night Champion or something, which yes, in the entertainment world is good, but in actual competitive sports, maybe not. You cannot fault Jake Paul for taking this fight. Why? Because he's not a real boxer. We all know he's not a real boxer. Yes, he actually trains boxing, but we know he's not a boxing prodigy. We all know why he's not gonna fight a real fighter, because he's gonna get knocked out. And if Jake Paul gets knocked out 6 times in a row, guess who you're not tuning in to watch when he fights Mike Tyson? I don't even know why people want Jake Paul to fight like a real fighter. I understand like he's cocky and he talks, but that's part of the appeal. He has to talk for you to be interested in the fight. Like, what does it sound like for Jake Paul to be like, yeah, I know I'm really not that good, but you should still tune in and pay millions of dollars for to watch me fight. And on the opposite end, people were following Mike Tyson for acting like he actually had a shot in this fight when they knew he had like health problems and wasn't moving as well. Again, it is the fighter's job to make you excited for the fight. How many viewers do you think are gonna lose interest in the fight if Mike Tyson says, I'm not really feeling that good, I don't think I really have much of a chance in this one? This is not something that's like specific to Mike Tyson. Every fighter in history does this. Look at literally every single one of Gervonta Davis's fights. The whole pre-fight, they're enemies, they can't stand each other, they hate each other's guts. But at the conclusion of every fight, they're somehow now friends and they shake hands and they take a picture. Like, also think about the example with Kobe Covington in the UFC. They were gonna cut him, not because he was bad at fighting, but because he just didn't sell fights. That's why they wanted Demetrius Johnson to stop being a champion, because he did not sell fights. You have to know that boxing, UFC, WWE, all these sports are ultimately there to make money at the end of the day. The only way to stop fights like this from happening is for the viewer to stop tuning in to ridiculous junk like this. And yes, I know it probably is hard not to watch stuff like this, especially when Mike Tyson, your like boxing hero, is involved. But you have to realize I cash grab when you see one. But like I said earlier, no fault to them, because if somebody paid me $40-20 million to get in the ring, I'm there for sure, bright and early. I'm probably there 4 or 5 hours early. I'm probably sleeping at the arena afterward, to be honest. If you like this video, leave a like and a comment down below. Did you enjoy the Jake Paul and Mike Tyson fight? Let me know. Thanks for tuning in to watch this video today. Y'all have a good one.